Samantha Jones ran 11 flights of stairs
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
in her thong, panting for her life, only to come out with her most quoted words,
I love you too, Richard, but I love me more.
"I love you too, Richard, but I love me more." These are the 10 words that tell me that Samantha Jones is terrified of becoming Carrie Bradshaw. Samantha's biggest fear is the version of herself that loves a man more than she loves herself. And Carrie Bradshaw is the daily exhibit that keeps her on high alert. In the pilot episode, Samantha introduces us to her philosophy at Miranda's birthday party. She frames her lifestyle as a kind of freedom, one that has been traditionally reserved for men. She is not waiting for a happily ever after, and in her own words, the right guy is an illusion. Her party girl persona reads as radical and liberated, and for the most part it is. A woman claiming that kind of sexual energy and doing it so loudly in 90s Manhattan is genuinely transgressive. Sex and the City was set out to stress social ideals, and Samantha was the one doing the stretching. She carries this energy throughout the show, believes that cheating holds no emotional weight for her, and that sex is just an exchange of power. At this point of the show, Samantha's a very convincing character, but I have watched Sex and the City enough times to know that Samantha Jones is not everything she claims she is. For Samantha, Season 1 is a blur of casual relationships with different men until the very last episode. In episode 12, we are introduced to James, a man who charms Samantha into a monogamous relationship and changes her entirely. Her language shifts from crude and direct to soft and sentimental. She starts saying things that could have only come out of Charlotte's mouth. When she retells of her encounters with James, the lover girl in her jumps out and calls it making love. The way she carries herself with James contradicts everything that she says she is. Like her softness in how she handles her frustrations with James' small gherkin, she doesn't break things off with him. And that's very unusual for someone like Samantha because she claims that she only takes interest in her own satisfaction. She is mostly passive-aggressive, saying she is fine when she is not, until James takes charge of the situation by suggesting that they see a relationship counselor. She calls off their relationship when she realizes that the inconvenience of making those visits is far greater than the feelings that she has for James. Samantha returns to her escapades until Season 2, Episode 11, when we meet Mr. Dominic Delmonico, a publishing magnate who also happens to be Samantha's one true love. Dominic gives us a glimpse of how Samantha navigates previous interests and how much weight they hold in the present time. And Mr. Delmonico could just be my answer to why Samantha has a consuming obsession with models. In the episode Models and Mortals, Carrie warns Samantha about Berkeley, a man who secretly films models in compromising positions. When Samantha hears of this, she demands that he films her too, because she is just as hot as any model and she deserves the same treatment. Berkeley reluctantly agrees to film Samantha, and Samantha gets the validation that she's been dying for. Samantha's insistence on being filmed by Berkeley is very interesting to me. It does not matter how degrading the act is or how unsafe it may be. We don't know what this man does with these tapes, yet she demands that he does it. All this to validate that she is just as attractive as any model. In the pilot episode, when she approaches Mr. Big, she tells Carrie that Mr. Big is the next you-know-who and that he usually dates models. She argues that she is just good looking as a model, and as a bonus point, she has her own business. I believe that underneath the bravado that Samantha puts on, there is an unconscious need to stay in proximity to models and I may have an idea as to why. In one of Carrie's voiceovers, she tells us that Samantha never missed a fashion show because proximity to beauty made her feel even more attractive. There is a level of truth in this, and she prepares to get her fat transferred onto her face. She announces to the girls that she was intimate with a Calvin Klein model, and that made her feel even more sexier. It's clear that Samantha views models as the ultimate form of beauty, and that highest validation of her own desirability and sexual viability is to be treated like a model. I truly believe that Samantha is overcompensating for the gap that Dominic left when he dumped her for a young Icelandic model named Anka. When Dominic resurfaces, Samantha's plan is to seduce him and dump him when he least expects it. You can only do this amount of admin if there is still a repressed lover girl in you asking, why wasn't it me? She is invested in having the final say of how their story ends. When I said that Samantha is afraid of becoming a Carrie Bradshaw, this is what I meant. She doesn't find anything wrong with going back to the man who broke her heart just so that she can have a final say of how the story ends. And this is no different to what Carrie has been doing. Carrie goes back for the hope of finally being picked by Mr. Big, and Samantha goes back to have the lost love. But that's just the thing. She still goes back to him. Although Dominic has a small feature, it's a very important feature because it tells us who Samantha Jones is when she lets herself fall in love with a man. Samantha's love for Dominic is not something we had the privilege of watching unfold, but in season 4, we finally get to experience Samantha falling in love and suffering a heartbreak in real time. Her relationship with Richard starts as a fling between two people who enjoy a no-strings-attached relationship until Samantha catches feeling.
Damn!
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
I'm sorry.
Richard, a notorious philanderer, proposes monogamy to Samantha, a philanderer in her own right, and for the first time in a while, Samantha lets her guard down. They slowly build their relationship into something real, and we get to see Samantha struggle with the vulnerability that comes with loving someone. For the first time, we see her struggle to cope with the anxiety of loving a man like Richard. She starts demanding to know where he is at all times. She stalks him around town to confirm that he is seeing other women. She starts doing everything that we have known to be the Carrie Bradshaw brand, and we know now that she too can obsess over a man. The fierce, no-nonsense Samantha we know starts to fade, and what is left is the same woman who once said men cheat for the same reasons dog lick themselves, and she is not one to interfere with nature. She is now struggling to cope with what that nature is doing to her. And this is because the woman who said that was cool girl Samantha, speaking about a hypothetical situationship. The Samantha with Richard is a woman who has fallen in love and is scared. She knows that her heart is about to be shattered. When her suspicions that Richard is seeing other women are confirmed, she goes around town plastering his face everywhere as a cheater. She denounces him as her lover, only to take him back after he apologizes. This is something that we and she has watched Carrie Bradshaw do, and Samantha is scared of being a Carrie Bradshaw. The one thing that saves her from sinking into the desperation like her friend Carrie is her low tolerance for the time and effort needed to administer nonsense like stalking your ex or living on high anxiety alert. Her reconciliation with Richard is short-lived because she cannot handle the constant anxiety of wondering where he is and what he is doing when she is not around. And just like that, she goes back to her casual relationships. Samantha's greatest fear is becoming like her friend Carrie. She watches her chase Mr. Big around, and I think that she secretly finds it pathetic, but she's never going to say it out loud because we know that the friendship is built on love and vibes. Samantha's worst version of herself, by her own standards, finally catches up with her when she starts dating Mr. Smith, Jerrod. Their relationship is neither here nor there for me, but I would say that it officially starts when Samantha ditches Smith for Richard at his own party. What follows is built on mutual support. Smith carries Samantha through her cancer diagnosis, and in turn, Samantha takes charge of his profession. She volunteers her own experience and her own network to build him up, almost a mother to his ambition. When Smith's career eventually takes off, Samantha abandons her own life to focus on his success. She moves out of New York to follow him as he breaks into Hollywood, ultimately placing him at the center of her own life because she loves him. By the time we are in the Sex and the City movie, her life has quietly become his life. This is the type of woman that Samantha Jones has spent a bulk of Sex and the City refusing to become, a woman who follows a man around. Samantha's relationship with Smith is a bit different in a sense that, unlike with James, Richard, or Dominic, there's nothing wrong with Smith. He's not a cheater. He is faithful and very supportive of Samantha. And because of this, her relationship with Smith exposes her. We now know that she has that woman in her, the one who abandons herself and centers a man's life, the one who set down her own ambition to place support in her man's life. And if we're being honest, that is the average woman. When Samantha says, "I love you too, Richard, but I love me more," she is really saying that I have watched this happen too many times, and I know that my life ends where our love begins, and I am not ready for that. If you are a lover girl, you take on roles that leave nothing for yourself until one day you realize that you have let yourself go. Samantha Jones is a facade built to protect her from becoming the woman who needs a man more than she needs herself.